What's up, folks? This is Crypto James talking to you today about the Solana ecosystem. So I have actually spoken about Solana in the past, and I said it would do a 10x this year when it was around $33. So still got a way to go, but it's on decent track for that. So I'll get into that in a second, along with all of the Solana ecosystem that continues to grow. Before I do, as always, the spreadsheets update. These were the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would smash it in this bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each of these coins when I released the videos and you're still holding your bags, you'd be in profit for 56 grand. Add in your $2,600 investment, you're sitting on 59 grand. Phantom is up 324x because that was a Udemy course I did where I said it would be the best investment of the year. Glad to be proven right about that. Continues to be on really bullish momentum. I've held all of these at one point or another and closed positions on every single one of them, or damn near every one of them. In profit, Grin, barely been in profit. Rubbish. And reinvested those into new cryptos. So I've got a bag of cryptos I've built. If you want to see the cryptos that I hold, check out Copy My Crypto. These cryptos are set for enormous gains, and they've actually been outperforming the market ginormously over the last few weeks. And some of these afford some wonderful opportunities in terms of investments. Not just the coins, but the opportunities that those coins provide. If you want to see that, you want to participate in that, you want to make those gains, then click the link in the description and check it out. Right, Solana. So, the Solana ecosystem is booming. It really is starting to boom. And the biggest thing with Solana is the potential for DeFi. Solana is so fast, so cheap. It's been on one of the biggest tears that we've seen. Even if you look at the last 24 hours, it's run from a low of like 139 all the way up to 195 at one point. I released a video about Solana in June, where I said I still believed it could potentially do a 10x, and I think it was around 33.92. I think that was pretty much bang on. So it's still got almost double to hit what I said it would, but I do see that being very, very, very feasible. The whole goal of Solana is about utilizing DeFi solutions. So if we actually have a look at the ecosystem at the moment, as you can see, absolutely massive. They are building something quite impressive. If you actually look at Solana, it's probably the fastest growing ecosystem in the last 12 months. It's been truly, truly impressive, along with obviously the price of Solana being realistically probably leading the altcoin bull cycle at this point. Now, within Solana, obviously Solana is a major investment for a lot of companies and a lot of investment firms. So you've got Alameda Research Portfolio, Multicoin Capital Portfolio, Kinetic Capital, CMS Holdings Portfolio, and they're missing a fair few there. A fair few. So if we take a look at Solana, the whole goal is it's powerful for developers. They are now running at about 1,800 transactions per second. The cost, as you can see, is insanely low. And the ecosystem, look, fastest growing ecosystem. Over 400 projects spanning DeFi, NFTs, Web3 and more. So one downside to CoinMarketCap is they do miss a lot. I mean, there's only 72 listed here. And not all of them will be necessarily cryptos that are available to buy or anything right now. But but the ecosystem is immense. And if you actually take a look at it, you've got FTX have chosen Solana for speed. So Serum is a crypto that I think could do very, very well. Within the actual projects that are up and running on Sol, you've got a bunch of things like Sol Starter now, which is going to be a launch pad. You've got Human Protocol, but I don't think Human Protocol will also transition to Elrond. You've got Fantasla, which is a fantasy sports platform. Now that probably will end up doing rather well. Fantasy sports have a huge, well, certainly in the UK, have a huge market. You know, I know everyone I know always does fantasy football at the start of the season. But yeah, they're building something really rather impressive. And the biggest thing really is you've got to factor in what's driving people to Solana's ecosystem. And fundamentally, it's that information in that green bar there. Ethereum is wonderful. Ethereum is the daddy of smart contract, but the fees are nonsense. The fees are mad. Scalability is still lacking. Transactions per second is still lacking. This blockchain can do 1,300 plus per second. It can do transactions for less than, well, for a 400th of a cent. Or 40th of a cent, sorry. But even so, that's still staggeringly good. And if we take a look at some of the big boys within this ecosystem, now, bear in mind, you've got a lot more coins that are in the 2,000 bracket in terms of rankings, but their volume per day is enormous. Now let's just pick one out at random. We'll pick Port Finance because it's up one of the most, and it's doing 7 million in transactions. Now their reported supply is 2.165 million. So they're putting it on a market cap of 17 million with volume of 8 million. So it's half. The volume is nearly half of the overall market cap of this coin. And the exciting thing about, like I say, the truly exciting thing about the Solana ecosystem is the DeFi element. Because make no mistake about it, there's huge potential for yield farming within crypto. There's huge potential for staking within crypto and just getting good returns on your investment. But if you are paying $20 per transaction, that is eating away at your returns. Now, if your returns are going to be in the thousands a day, do you really give a crap about $20? Probably not. But retail investors, your regular people, do not want to spend $20 on a transaction where their returns are going to be $30. What's the point? So retail investors are really swiftly beginning to move to Solana ecosystem because the yield rewards are massive and the transaction fees are minimal. So you can get some great yields on some of these cryptos with very, very little weighing costs for transactions. And there's tons of these really impressive DeFi projects out there within the Solana ecosystem. I mean, Frontier is a crypto I'm quite interested in. I keep my eye on that a lot. Synthetify, I can never say that bloody thing. Synthetify is quite an interesting one as well. I'll just run through that with you. Mercurial Finance, another one that's quite interesting, and again doing huge volume, 9.8 million in volume. But the problem is we don't know certainly CoinMarketCap don't know the circulating supply. That doesn't mean CoinGecko doesn't. But yeah, Synthetify. So Synthetify has currently got a circulating supply of about 5.6 million, $5 token, clearly on a pretty good run. If you look in the last 3 months, it has actually been running very, very smoothly. And And Synthetify is literally about exchange and burn of synthetic assets based on prices provided by the Oracle systems. So they have a public debt pool, and that's how they basically have infinite liquidity and zero slippage for these big trades. So it means you're not going to get wrecked. Like, you're not going to dilute the market, or you're not going to get overcharged for a transaction because there's an almost infinite supply on the synthetic assets. Now, again, I quite like this as a crypto. There's 100 million of these. Now, they've released, the team and the family and the private sale have a 4-year lockup. So it does mean in 4 years or so, there's a likelihood that you'll get dumped on. But in that time, potentially, especially during the bear cycle that will come, you'll be able to use Synthetify and build and get some yields and get some returns on investment via their protocol, and then you can sell it beforehand. But yeah, so you can deposit, you can mint, so you mint your synthetic assets, you can trade them. They've got tons supported. And because it's on Solana, it's absolutely rapid and damn near fearless. Alameda again in on this. Alameda are pretty much in on almost on a lot of the Solana ecosystem. In terms of staking as well, you can get good returns on staking. So if you add in, let's say 100, that's not going to do it. So Synthetify staking, Synthetify staking rewards. I always like staking rewards. I'm not going to go in. All right, fine. Yeah, all right, fine. Now, but like I say, Mercurial Finance is one I've been watching as well. So their whole thing is dynamic vaults for assets on Solana. So again, it's about swapping. You can swap and mint stable assets, but it's a way of, again, earning a decent yield on those synthetic assets. DeFi, I think we could see some of the bigger cryptos leave Ethereum sooner or later. They won't leave outright, but they will mirror onto other blockchains. Cardano and Solana are certainly two that are going to probably do very, very well in that regard, because there's a huge benefit to those cryptos also being mirrored and on a different blockchain, because they can pump. They'll be more utilized. Retail investors can't use Ethereum. The fees are ridiculous. Or they won't use Ethereum. I can't. But yeah, but there are tons of great projects built on Solana. I mean, I talked about Audius recently. Serum, I think, is a great project. Akash, I know there's a lot of people that have spoken about Akash. I've not actually covered Akash. Parsec as well. So yeah, guys, Solana. And you've got to take into account the speed that it's going. That's what makes it a solid asset. That genuinely is what makes it a solid asset. When you are doing plus 1,000 transactions a second, 40th of a cent in terms of transaction costs, why won't people flock here? This is why it's one of the fastest growing ecosystems. They're very good at marketing. They're very good. They've got a strong bloody community, Solana. And fundamentally, guys, Solana is pumping and has been pumping. Now, what price it can hit, who knows? Seriously, I still think you're looking at around $340 max. But honestly, I said that 3 months ago. Now, with the speed that the Solana ecosystem has boomed from $2 like a year or $2.50 odd a year ago, all the way up to 182 it is now. That's a huge run in a very short time. It could do more. Legitimately could do a lot more. It might even be, I mean, realistically, we've got 291 million circulating. $1,000 a coin would put it at, 291 billion. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's only roughly a little more than a 5x from here. And when I said 340, that was when it was at $33.92. So if it does that, I mean, that puts it on a 100 billion market cap, which now, to be honest, because it's less than a double, feels small potatoes. Maybe we could see Solana breaking that $1,000 mark. Maybe. If the ecosystem keeps growing as it is, if people keep flocking to use it, especially retail investors, sky's the limit for Solana. And Ethereum, and anything that gives Ethereum healthy competition is a great thing. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you're all doing well. And as always, guys, check out Copy My Crypto. If you are new to crypto, or you don't know what the hell you're doing in crypto, or you're not happy with your holdings, see what the hell I hold. I built a portfolio designed for immense gains. My portfolio has been outperforming the market consistently solidly for the last 4 weeks as well. And there's only growth coming. And the opportunities provided by some of these coins are ridiculous. They're going to be brilliant. So if you want to be a part of it, click the link in the description. All right, take care, guys. Bye.